Hi, my name is Hannah. I am the architect and creator of Panelio. I'm gonna guide you through the form in Panelio app. So Panelio wants to generate your cabinet cut sheets without CAD software. Additionally, it's creating your 3D model too, but that is a secondary just byproduct. So where you can review what you made. So we can go through start the cut sheet or my project or start the project anywhere you would like to go to. So start the cut sheet. So here we can see cabinet one. We can add up to 5 cabinets. Let's go through one. The first thing is the measurement system. As I am from Europe, we use millimeters or centimeters. So I'm going to use millimeters now. Go next. Then the second item to review is the cabinet width, cabinet height, and depth. So let's say I want a width of 600, depth of 600, and height of 950. Now I am assuming that the cabinet height from the floor is 950, for example. So this is why we are asking, does it have a plinth? We are not going to design and cut sheets for the plinth because the plinth can be different length depending on how many cabinets we have and what's the shape of our cabinet placement. So right now we're just going to confirm, does it have it? Next, but it's important for our heights. And that's why we're asking, what is your assumed plinth height? So let's say 100. Next, plinth height included in the overall. So, did you include the plinth height in the overall height or not? So, this is only to understand what is the actual height of the cabinet. So, let's say I assumed that means my cabinet height is 950 minus 100, that is 850. And that is what the software is going to understand. So now we go through material thickness as this is what we need also to understand what are our cut sheets going to be. So sheet thickness for me is, let's say, 20 millimeters, which is 2 centimeters. Cabinet type. Let's go through the easier one, that's shelves. We have drawers, and there's also an empty cabinet. In the future, there will be more cabinet types. These are now developed just for testing. So let's say shelves. Next, please input the number of shelves. Here we have 2 shelves shown, but let's say we want to have 3 shelves. Next, do we need a closing panel here? This is an option for 0 closing panels, 2 closing panels if our width of the cabinets is larger, and 1 closing panel. I will choose 1 closing panel. Next, cabinet back panel required. Sometimes we don't need the gap back panel. Sometimes we do. So I assumed that we have the back panel. Yes. Next, back panel material thickness. Sometimes the back panel material thickness is different from the general material thickness. So in here we have 20 as this is assumed as the general panel material thickness. We can keep it or we can change it into 3. Because of this, so the next question is going to ask, okay, what is your sheet size for your general material of the cabinets and for your material for the back panels? So I have here 2440, 1222, which is the typical sheet panel size in Europe. I have the same for the secondary material. We can change this too, and I will go next. That's it. We are done. So we've allowed for all of these options to be filled in. We can go to preview, we can download 3D just to check what is the cabinet that we made in 3D. 2D is the cut sheet download, and then we can go preview. We can also add more cabinets. I'm going to go to preview. When we preview the cabinets, we have the sheet summary. So it says board 1, this is our main material. We have 2 sheets required. Board 2, 1 sheet required. So this is how the AI has arranged your sheets. And we have board 2 sheet. This is the one back panel. Now we can download 2D or we can download 3D. In order to understand the panel naming convention, we can go to panel naming convention. We can also go here. Those are the same links. And now we have here the general naming rules. This is the side panels. C1, that is assumed that this is your cabinet 1, side 1 and side 2. There are these ones. Then the bottom panel, which is C1B. Then the top rails. The top rails are at the moment assumed to be 60 millimeters tall. So these are C1, TR1, and TR2. We are always having 2. Front closing panels, if we have only one, it's going to be C1, F1. And if we have 2, C1, F2. Back panel is C1, BK, if we have it. Shelves is C1 shelf SH1, SH2, or SH3 if we have 3. Now, drawer components, I'm going to go back to drawers. So let's go back to continue the project. We can also go to my project. Let's add a cabinet, and this time let's do drawers. So let's do metric again. Next. We want to have maybe a little bit wider cabinet. So let's say 800. Depth is still the same, 600. Height is still the same, 950. Next. Yes, it has a plinth. Plinth height is 100. Next. Plinth height included, yes. And now let's do drawers. Next. Please input the number of drawers. At the moment, we have only 3 options for drawers. That is 1, 2, or 4. Later, we will develop more options where we have the drawers that are hidden drawers, outer drawers, and also we will add options where you can define the number of drawers yourself. So let's try 4 drawers. So now, because the drawers are sometimes constructed in a different way, so sometimes the fixing elements or the ironmongery of the drawer already has side panel. So this is why we are asking here, drawer side panels required or not. So let's say that they are required. And then we have clearance, cabinet panel, drawer, side panel. In case that we did not, I can go backwards. So in case that we do not have the side panels, I'm going to go next again. We have now a clearance between the cabinet panel and the drawer bottom panel. So let's say this is 10 millimeters on each side. Now we have drawer back panel required. Do we need, so usually when we don't need the side panel, sometimes we need the drawer back panel. Let's say yes. Then the clearance again, we put 20 millimeters as an automatic one, but you can also adjust this. Cabinet back panel required, yes. And then we're asking a question, should the drawer back panel be made from the thinner back panel material? So is the drawer back panel made from the same material as the cabinet back panel? So yes, this is usually the case. Or no, we can use the main material. Next. That's it, we're done. We can preview. So we have these two, and just to note that at the moment, both of these cabinets are in the preview and the download. So we did not create 2 separate cut sheets. We compile all of the cabinet parts in as if they're part of one project. So in the preview, we will see that all of the boards are they are populated accordingly. So we have here, this is C2, so this is the cabinet 2, somewhere it's C1. So yes, we have it like this. So as you can see, we can make this in 3 sheets of the main board material and 1 sheet of the back board material. Now we can download this as CAD here, and we can also download 3D and 2D. And I'm gonna make a separate cut for the download. So let's say now I'm downloading the 3D, and let's see what we get.